My main man is here today, representing Buffalo.
What's up?
Fucking great little comedian, Josh Potter.
Thanks so much for having me, dude.
I've known you since before the glasses, and I gotta tell you, you've made me very proud the last couple months. Number one,
Thank you.
I know you've been here for about a year.
Mm-hmm. A little over, well, almost 2 years.
It's so crazy how you go to different comedy clubs, and you see comics, and 100 of them tell you what their plans are, and you talk to them, and you try to talk to them as honestly as you can. I've always spoken to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see them out here, and you try to give them love or whatever in the beginning. This is what I've learned, and I've learned that they go home within the first 6 months.
For sure.
This is a hard place to make a living. Thank God you were friends with Tom, and he loves you with all his heart. I mean,
I'm so thankful.
I've had 1,000 conversations with Tom, and you gave me a little gig on the podcast to put a little change in your pocket. You're doing some work around town, so I really applaud.
Thank you.
What you're doing. I'm very, 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 very proud of you.
That means so much. Thank you very much.
No, you know me, dog. I'm down with the. Don't call me up at 2 a.m. and tell me about your plans, because I don't want to fucking hear them.
And I don't like talking about that.
I
want
to see
either,
what the fuck you're doing. And I hear around town, Josh Potter was there, and you're very likable. I mean, everybody I talks to says they love you. I know you were on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and somebody actually called me and said, "Listen to this podcast with Potter." He goes fucking ape shit, and I go, "Let me tell you something, Potter. You know, you remind me of Potter. Why I've always fallen in love with you, and I've never told you."
Who's that?
The guy that told me, that basically threatened my life. He was, listen to this, he was built like you. Wow. He looked like you. He had glasses like you. He had the intelligence of, name it. He ran the prison library. Nice. He was from Buffalo. Wow. And he had murdered his wife and the mailman because he was fucking the wife or something. He was on the tail end of a 30-year, 20-year, whatever. And he didn't say much. He rolled his own cigarettes. He was just and he hung out with another dude from Buffalo. We had like 4 guys in the prison from Buffalo.
Wow. All the way out there?
Yeah, they'd get together and watch the Bills and talk shit. One guy was Big T. Big motherfucking black dude. His family owned a barber shop in Buffalo. You ever come to Buffalo? Come to the corner. Yeah, there's 1,000 corners. Yeah. And this librarian, and me and this librarian became tight. And we even did acid. Oh, nice. We got some acid gotten in there because they couldn't test you for acid. Okay. And he was a hallucinogenic guy. So me, him, and a Crip named Torrey Powell's, we were in barracks, army barracks, and there would be a guard that would drive around once an hour. And, some nights you can't sleep. You're allowed to go outside and sit on the barracks and read a book. This night, all 3 of us were fucking flying. We're fucking flying on this. In prison, I can't. And I mean, this is acid. Acid in prison. This was like real, like you're tripping in your room. Yeah. You fucking, the lights are on. You think the cops are coming. Yeah, the cops are there. And finally, I get like a knock on my door, and it's the Crip. Hey, he's like, "Man, I can't take it in my room no more." I go, "All right, let's go get the librarian." We get in the librarian. He's like, "Thank God you came." Because I was just trying to see like devils and shit. So I remember sitting outside on a bench. Just, you think about prison, you see these movies, and you think about. But no matter where you go in this life, whether it's on a negative or a positive, you always meet 2 or 3 people that are tight that make that part of your life a lot easier. And these 2 guys, I owe my life. And I'm sitting there with them, and we're fucking outside, and the birds are sounding like hawks. At 2 in the morning, a little cheep, cheep sounds like fucking. Then the sprinklers went on, and we were fucking really paranoid. We were like on acid, and the guard came, and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys still doing up?" I'm like, "We couldn't talk. We were talking about a shipment of meat coming in or some bullshit," because we all worked in the kitchen. So, except the librarian. So I don't know what happened. And at one point, the librarian goes, "I gotta go to the bathroom." He disappeared for like a half hour. We just lost him. And Torre Pals, the Crip, looked at me and goes, how fucking crazy are we? We're doing acid with a guy that stabbed his wife to death to the mailman. He goes, I'll never forget this. That was my Buffalo
That's
story.
so fucking wild because you're right. Like a murderer on acid could have like a moment. Yeah.
He could just snap. And he was like he was a sweetheart. There was no mental health issues. He was a genius. He was very smart.
He was
I learned
like
a
ice in
lot
his
from
veins.
him. You know, I remember I was like the house lawyer, and he did all my work.
Oh, he did all the paperwork and
Because
shit.
he just did it out of doing it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like just to help me because he was that smart. He was initiative. He was just he read that New York Times front to back every day. You know, it's just Buffalo has always been just so fucking. I have such a connection to Buffalo that it's like my connection to Jersey. I met a girl from Buffalo. And I started going to Buffalo, and I fell in love with the city. And they told me the history of the city. You know, Fisher Price left, and all these companies left, and they were left with their dick in their hand.
You were probably there in the 90s when it was like real shitty. Everyone was moving to fucking Charlotte and shit.
I was there in 84.
Okay. So you saw the downturn like the whole way through.
I was there in 84, 85, 86. We would go. It was a family thing. And they were tremendous. They were Polish.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of that.
the fucking food was just sensational. And I remember telling somebody once, like, I'm going to Buffalo to do comedy. Like, that's the asshole of the world. And I actually really, really got insulted. Like, you don't know Buffalo.
Yeah.
Like, unless you've been to Buffalo, you know, when you go to fucking Wegmans and you look
crazy.
at, like, Lee wouldn't come back.
You
Like,
really
I know Lee. I know Lee.
live at Wegmans?
I dated a girl from Rochester, and she told me about Wegmans. And
You would live
was
inside
freaking-
Wegmans for sure.
Lee, you just would not. I remember I go back to Buffalo with Rob Lederman
Yep.
when he paid nothing and it was a nightmare of a club.
Yeah.
And then I went back when there was a Funny Bone there.
In the mall.
And that was sensational.
That was cool.
That was the first club in the country that was doing blue shows.
Oh, no shit.
Friday nights, and Canadians would come over.
Yeah, they love coming over for
And it
sure.
was sold out no matter who it was. True Blue on Friday nights at 11.
Wow.
So it was like 7, 9, and 11.
We're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.